So what is one stock that I just added to my trading watch list? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky, and let's talk about it. So I really hope that you guys learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing. So the stock that I want to talk about today is Lululemon, because if you look at the price point from its current price of $356, it was previously trading at $516. And again, the cheap can always get cheaper. It's not that I want to buy it right now. It's a stock that I just added to my watch list because of how much it has sold off, and because now the recovery, if it ends up reversing of what it offers, if it ends up recovering back to previous highs, which again, it definitely does not have to, but if it does, 43% is what it offers. I plugged this thing into my risk to reward ratio calculator. And again, this is something that we actually offer for free. You guys can go to techbudsolutions.com and it's under trading tools. You can download this little Excel sheet for free. And as you guys can see, Lululemon with target price of $350. If it ends up actually finding its support there, which again, it could go even lower. My entry price can be $300. My biggest thing that I want to focus on is the 3 stages of a reversal. To not buy just because it's cheap, but to buy at indication of a reversal. If you don't know what I mean, then feel free to check out the LPP lesson library. We talk about that very clearly. As of right now, it's still forming lower lows, lower highs, but previous support range is right around 350. So I added 350 as my desired entry if it ends up showing signs of a support. My desired exit is going to be around 500. So not the highest 52-week highs at 516, but again, a more common resistance level right around $500 per share with a stop loss giving it a $10 cushion of 340, as not every trade goes according to plan. With that risk to reward ratio, it offers about a 15 to 1 ratio. What that means is 15% upside versus 1% downside. That is an extremely high risk to reward ratio, which is very favorable when it comes down to taking a trade, as long as direction is in my favor. And with 100 shares, that's about $35,000. I could potentially make $15,000, and I could potentially lose, according to my entry and my stop loss, $1,000. So even before taking the trade, I have a full trade breakdown. I understand what my potential for profit is, what my potential for loss is, and I understand what my risk to reward ratio is. Now it's coming up with a game plan of, okay, waiting for my criteria to be met on the 3 stages of a reversal for this thing to actually indicate signs of a reversal, right? You might be asking, oh, Ricky, what caused it to sell off? You need to be asking that. You can't just be like, okay, it's cheap, I'm going to buy it. No, I want to understand why it sold off. And it's not because it reported bad earnings. It actually beat expectation. Earnings per share came in at 5.29 versus the expectation of 5, and the revenue came in at 3.21 versus the expectation of 3.2. Lululemon is a very fast growing company. I don't know if you guys have seen the overall big picture charts, but this thing's an incredibly bullish stock over a long period of time. This is a very significant pullback, kind of like what we saw back in 2021 to 2022, and then it recovered. It's not that it has to recover this time. I'm just talking about it because now it's cheap. And if it does indicate signs of a reversal, then great. And if it continues to sell off, then guess what? This is why we're adding it to our watch list and not something that we have to buy if direction and opportunity never present itself, right? Just make it keep it simple and make sure that direction is in your favor. But when looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, the thing that I would like this thing to do is once it actually begins to find its support, if it begins to trade sideways, just like we saw here, it trades sideways and then indicates signs of an uptrend, and it forms higher highs and higher lows, indicating signs of growth. I want to feel like I'm missing out by not being invested in Lululemon. I definitely don't have that feeling right now because direction is against me. Therefore, I'm actually saving money by not being invested in Lululemon. But again, when asking the question, why did it sell off? It reported great earnings, but its guidance for 2024 was a little bit lower than what Wall Street expected. So this is something that I've said so many times. Pay attention to this. When a company reports earnings, it's not always super important just about what they report for the previous quarter, but also its guidance for up and coming quarters. So normally there's 2 parts to an earnings report. There's the earnings report itself and then the earnings call. In the earnings call, they talk about the previous quarter, but then they also give guidance for the up and coming quarter. This is, again, kind of where we set the pace or set the sentiment for what's to come. And if Wall Street does not like that or they don't see that as bullish, then again, then Wall Street can react in a negative way. As you could see, Lululemon aggressively sold off after reporting earnings, going from highs of nearly $500 per share all the way down to $391. Now that sucks for current investors, but it's a great opportunity for new investors like you and I that might see this thing to be something worth investing in at a much cheaper price. So again, it's a 30% discount, not in stores, but on Wall Street. Once this thing actually begins to indicate signs of a reversal, I would love to not just have it in my watch list, but I would love to take a small position and add more to it as direction becomes favorable. And remember, anytime that I want to make adjustments, let's say that I really like the way that it's performing, it begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, I can then begin to increase my position size. I can go in with 300 shares. Now I have $105,000 and I could potentially make 45,000, potentially lose 3,000, right? My risk to reward ratio stays the same according to my entry and my exit, but obviously as I add more, as it's indicating signs of an uptrend, then my average entry price obviously is going to go up, and that's just something to take into consideration. But overall, again, I just wanted to use our little risk to reward ratio calculator. If you need help downloading it, feel free to comment down below, but it's super simple. You can go to techbutsolutions.com, and under trading tools, we provide it for you right down here. So you guys can download it for numbers on Apple devices, or if you have Windows or anything else that's not a MacBook, you can download it with an Excel. So again, it's all available on techbutsolutions.com under trading tools, and it's absolutely for free. I also do want to remind you, I trade live every morning. I would love to invite you to my live trading session right at market open. It's not where I'm telling you where to buy or where to sell. We don't do that here. It's no hand holding, but at least for me, I'm so much more of a visual learner. I learn better when I watch other people do. And how valuable would it be as you're learning how to get into this market to watch me enter, exit, take profits, stop loss on every trade that I take during these live sessions. So again, if you want to tune on in, right now we're running a 50% off discount. It's the biggest discount ever, and it's the second link in the description of this video down below. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I'd love to answer it for you. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.